They have saved their best brawl for last battle. And this is where glory meets destiny. Give it up and welcome on stage, Team Elektros!
We're hearing the crowd roar for Reply Totem and Team Elektros. Happy to see also that Rage there to step in between Angel Boy and Mari yet again. Let's see how that will fare for his nose.
Yeah, I'm here. Watch out, Drazer. You better be working on his ducks. You know what I mean? Maybe give him a little bit of a step back, because I sure as heck don't want to get into a slap battle with Angel Boy. My goodness. For Team Elektros, I'm sure they must feel pretty gratified to even be here. For Diego, it's his first LAN. He actually is not initially a part of this team. He replaces Bilal due to visa issues. He's just really a victim, frankly, of the most disgraceful display we've ever seen from a North American team. Some horrendous team chemistry, something that's not his fault. He has to sit back and watch his team just disintegrate because maturity clearly not in full supply over there. So great to see him get a chance here, but they're going up against, in my opinion, probably one of the scariest teams here. It's Revenant X Spark and Reply Totem as the top two teams at LCQ, in my opinion.
Reply Totem are the only team left in this competition that have been able to get to this stage on sweeps. Now, there's only 2 other teams in the entire world and the history of Brawl Esports that have been able to achieve that at an LCQ. One of those teams being SK Gaming in 2023 LCQ, and the other being Foot Esports last year's LCQ. So can Reply Totem today cement themselves and be that third?
I'm really looking forward to this match. Another EMEA versus NA banger. And yes, Reply Totem, they're looking so strong this weekend, but they had a rough run this year. Both in Split 1 and Split 2, they didn't have the best of results. Is it just because they're now standing on stage and they're truly the LAN warriors? Or why is that?
Yeah, they are LAN dragons. They always have slow starts. Always. Last year, they had a slow start. And still no one doubted they'd be a really strong team heading into Worlds, and lo and behold, they're in the semi-finals.
Do it.
Jam it, bro.
Go for it. You're a whale, mate. You're a whale.
Hopefully Mum's credit card is not hooked up to that account. That's all I'm saying. Okay. We're heading into Hideout to start this series off. Again, I'm feeling pretty confident about Totem, but they haven't really been challenged. Chapter of Happiness, they blew through. Na'Vi, I thought, might actually have given them a bit more trouble. The Elektros have played 14 sets of Brawl to get here. Almost the maximum number of games required. Some very close series. Now, is it fatigue setting in, or has that experience galvanized them to take this ticket?
This is the question for me. And for Team Elektros, they've got to bring it all together now. It's not been an easy region this year. North America has had its peaks and troughs for many. They've got this far. They've got to keep reminding themselves of that. Again, 2-3 scorelines and 3-2 scorelines. One to Papara Supermassive and one to BC Gaming. Team Elektros hanging by a thread here.
And you've mentioned how it's the first LAN experience for Diego Gamer, but in a recent interview, Livy did say he's going to strive with the crowd. He's going to take it as an extra motivation. He feels like Diego Gamer will actually like the crowd, and so far it did look like it's helping Team Elektros. Many haven't even seen them on day 3, but they're standing here today, and they, at least for as Livy, once again have to face off against this Italian-Ukrainian roster, which I'm sure it's going to revoke some memories.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think Reply Totem, Mara and Mari have been mainstays of this team, but they've always needed someone in the driving seat for them, right?
Yeah.
You know, someone to guide them, someone to call, to draft, and those two just kind of go and do their own thing. Angel Boy is the one in that position this time around, and I trust him. I think they also trust him with that role as well. But it's always kind of felt like Maru, Mari, and the other guy. I'd like to see Angel Boy be the guy here in this kind of matchup. I think he really needs to take that position up against a very experienced opponent in Livy, right? He's seen some of the biggest stages before. We wondered if his career still had legs. It's clear to see that that's the case, and no one expected Elektros to, at last minute, to have to cobble themselves together and make a run, but here they are in a golden ticket game. Just one more step up against, to me, the final boss of LCQ.
I'm with you. I want to see Angel Boy from LCQ 2023 brought forwards to 2025, hoisting Maru and Maori in each arm at the end of this one. But I feel like for Team Elektros, they're not going to hand this over. This is not going to be an easy win by a long shot. Rafiki is so dangerous. I cannot say it enough. if they get the right brawlers on the side of Team Elektros, those up close and personal ones, Reply Totem are going to have a problem on their hands.
And it looks like we have the brawlers now. Double support on both sides. Gene Max, an age-old combination, works out super well with the symbiosis. Gene will hit his pulls a bit more consistently thanks to the speed. And then on the other side, Jae-Young and Gus. I love both of those comps. Both are winning comps.
Team Elektros, Sunny, with a very classic take on this heist game type. They're going to go aggressively behind this Max Super, but Rafiki got a little bit more than he bargained for there, and the map's starting to get opened up with that supply drop coming in. Rafiki hit by the Weekend Warrior behind the wall. Diego popped by Angel Boy. Looks at the firepower. Certainly rests with the EMEA team.
They're not done yet. Look at this. Oh, dropping like flies. Rafiki just about stays alive there. But Diego Gamer fell. Angel Boy now has got that shielding on that right-hand side, and I love this Reply Totem. They've got such solid ground here.
And they're laying on thick. Nice slow-mo replay catches Maori, but it's going to be a shield inspiration conferred by Angel Boy. And so the Jae-Young will be able to walk away scot-free. A 5-star lead. And now Elektros have to cross this open, expansive map to get to grips with Reply Totem.
Diego Gamer has got a magic hand pull, which he was missing on day one. I need to see a connect. Rafiki finds the pick up there, the slow-mo replay, and there's the pull we needed. Team Elektros now with 5 and the blue take the lead.
2 pulls in that engagement. First, the slow-mo replay to catch someone out, and then Diego cleverly sits behind the montage to pull in yet another player, and they're going to go for it yet again as Livy surges ahead. Sandbags protecting Mara to some degree. Angel Boy is in the thick of things now, and he might not have the healing that he needs. Montage thrown up. Both teams awkwardly disengage after no shortage of blows exchanged.
Totem 1, that supply drop is lurking. Team Elektros are baiting it. 20 seconds left on the clock, but Reply Totem only need 1. Speed for Maori now, and Angel Boy stops the flank off in its tracks. Speed from a speed, and a huge push, hypercharge, missed magic hands, but there's the pickup with 10 seconds on the clock.
And for now, they've done enough. They're going to group up around this cluster. The Rafiki gets picked off. This puts Elektros only 1 gem up. Mari wants to try and surge ahead, but there's no time for Reply Totem. I love this from Elektros. No respect gaming, and they know what they have to do. It's a straightforward push off the Max Super to get in the face of Reply Totem to snatch up those stars.
But a few missed shots there towards the NFL from Maori. That might have been the difference maker. But for Reply Totem, regardless as to whether it would have been, they've got to shake that one off. Very close game to start things off.
Yeah, both teams with a really good understanding of how their comp is supposed to win. You've got to respect Elektros when they come forward with that Max Super. We've got Maori, aggressive positioning, weaving a couple of shots there in Rafiki's direction. Now up against the wall he goes. Diego needs some poke damage, and Angel Boy is really trying to limit that super generation of the Gene.
Maori changes over the hill side of things. Maybe Totem wants to be able to endure this, but just look at this. Rafiki is so dangerous on this left-hand side with his Livy. Missed shots there from Maru again. These have got to start landing. Some potential nerves here. Low HP for Team Elektros. The magic heals from Gene are going to come in very clutch.
Yeah, crucial, of course. The magic hand available. Those puffs from Diego will let us shrug off a lot of this poke damage that comes in. A bit easier for Diego to build up successive magic hands as the map is more open now. All Elektros need to do is connect these supers. Here's Rafiki taking a long way around with that max speed boost. Now with that montage if he needs it. Slow-mo replay also an option, but Diego found the magic hand, catch on to Maru, and then Elektros will simply slink away.
There's only 1 star in this. If Reply Totem can just find 1, it will take the lead. Livy sends the speed to Rafiki, who doesn't outstay his welcome there. They've got a good trap spawned pinch here. Rafiki, though, brings the shield in. Slow-mo replay, and again, not outstaying their welcome. Angel Boy falls! That's more stars! Elektros have got 4 now, a 3-star lead with 20 seconds.
Clever by Rafiki, doesn't pop hyper there, just needs to use the montage to get away. 17 seconds left in the round. The Reply Totem need 3 stars, and off they go. Rafiki with a boost. Angel Boy hits that super, knocks Rafiki back, and so Elektros retreat into the corner of the map. Diego's got a magic cannon as Livy goes forward, but Weekend Warrior smashes the Max to smithereens. 1 star in it. Here they come. Angel Boy pushing up and low as Livy in his face, and Elektros have done enough. How about them apples? NA's number 5 seed notches up the first set.
And again, a real buzzer beater. A couple more seconds there, and they were toast. For Reply Totem, they just didn't time the run effectively. And some pretty poor stats. I loved this Max and Buster combo. It really was dirty. And to think that we haven't seen Max all event long, and now we're getting a bit of a showcase.
I think we got it yesterday once, right? But it feels like everybody's been saving that particular pick, the most obvious pick it almost feels, until the late stages of this tournament. Let's look back a little bit over how the way this map went. This was a double pull. Look at Diego here. Bam. Nothing that Maori could do about that, especially with the montage in play. Good draft. Good overarching strategy, but the execution for me was what really made the difference. This is a bit lopsided. You can see that Maori, of course, has a ton of burst damage to that Weekend Warrior. Max only with about 5-6k HP, can't do a ton in that 1 versus 1. Power creep in Brawl Stars is a real thing. But a classic comp with classic brawlers, that's the win in the first set for Elektros.
It was a fantastic draft, and Drage will have to bring out the book for this next set if they want to stop that momentum, and I suggest they do that. 2-0 is not where you want to be. I don't want to see a sweep.
Okay, all right.
That's my plan for today, is that was the first and last in the previous match. Death Cap Trap up next. Gem grab, all about control, all about retaining gems, and just ensuring the objective.
It's nice to see Reply Totem finally being challenged on their road to a golden ticket here. Blowing through Chapter of Happiness and Na'Vi in quick succession. Now though, a furrow of the brow. Drage, of course, added to this team following Guesty's departure to assist more with those drafts. Considered one of the top drafters out in MEA. It's one of the reasons why I've seen Drage actually float around between a couple of different teams, right? Found his spot in more of a coaching position now. Obviously had plenty of run as a player. The Death Cat Trap, of course, is going to be the kind of map where you definitely want to have those strong side lanes, and we're looking at safe mids. Janet's already been an option today, but we were unconvinced by her in that previous series.
Yeah, I suggest Drage stay as a coach and not try his hand in boxing, because, he wouldn't do too well, would he? Let's be honest.
Glass jaw.
But certainly, this is a really key moment for Reply Totem to bring forward the draft. This is a map as well which they've had a great amount of scrims by comparison of Team Elektros, way over double. So the bans are in, the Ruffs, the Cordelius, first pick Ollie for Reply Totem. That's a good start.
Yeah.
Why even go for the Max here, honestly? It's one that they've tried a lot. The Cordelius, the Lily ban also, as well as the Mina, the Kids, and the Lily ban twice on the side of Team Elektros.
Yeah, I feel like the Ollie being open stood out like a sore thumb. And it's a no-brainer for Reply Totem to snap that brawler up. From here, though, it's a little bit less cut and dry. Now that the Ollie has gone away, you might want to try and build your support core or just find your mid to kick things off. Yeah, Janet comes in. Again, not exactly the best brawler in terms of contributing to the overall damage required.
No survivors.
But the Kaze will certainly have plenty of deeps.
I love that for Team Elektros. Kaze been getting a great amount of play over the course of this event. To Reply Totem now, Max Sandy. It's kind of what they've been scrimming recently, and I love that combo. But it has been a while, hasn't it? Let's be honest. No real wall break yet on the side of Team Elektros, so it is a real possibility here. That's where they want to go for it. Ruffs as well certainly would be a helping hand. They banned it themselves for good reason. They don't want to be able to hand over anything like that to Team Elektros to be able to cycle those hypercharges. Crow, are they coming in for what I'm assuming will be their gem carrier? And they need another aggressive lane side. It could potentially even be a Hank here. That's their top pick in scrims.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of Hank, you're right, coming out from these guys. The Totem, they're a big Ruffs team. They have been in the past, sort of not available. Hits has also been something they've tried to work in. That's been banned out as a result. Sandy will be the pick, excuse me. Not the longest range composition for Reply Totem, but this team certainly hits hard when push comes to shove. And you're likely to be in your effective range if you're Mario Maru, because Diego Gamo needs to close the gap. Bloomy, however, doesn't want to do that nearly so much, and there are some important chokes you can control with that Grim and Frostbitten gadget. Well, we talked about Crow coming back into vogue much more as of late, and a huge component of that is the defense booster shield. It's not a set amount of damage that it prevents. It prevents 40% of damage that comes in. It's straight damage reduction, not a flat amount, which is amazing, especially against, again, multiple brawlers, situations where you really need that durability. Defense booster is absolutely the go-to. We know Utility Knives is pretty sick when they pierce and bounce back to you after using that hypercharged super. So in we go, second set. Team Elektros stunning us with a very solid take of set against Reply Totem on Bounty. Gem grab though, different game, different draft, different field.
it's going to actually be Diego Gamer on the Lumi pick. I'm surprised. Livy was playing it fantastically over the course of this LCQ. Mario there with a sneaky hypnosis onto Rafiki there. It's actually going to end in a trade there. Surprised. Livy forced to jump away there with backstage pass. Gadgets though, no drop the base on that Janet side. Diego Gamer just trying to lurk and does find Angel Boy there as well in the bush.
Great catch.
Nice, lovely sweet dreams from Angel Boy. That was crucial.
Diego Gamer essentially can keep Angel Boy out of the game, controlling the chokes with this range. Rafiki looks like he's trading evenly with Maru, which means it's Maori versus Livy a lot of the time. And the Crow definitely has the damage edge over... Oh, okay, Livy's going to drop those gems here. Yeah, do not want to eat those knives in that situation. Rafiki, not sure if he intended to snap those 3 gems up. That might have been a bit of a mistake.
It was a cheeky bait from Maru. He flashed the super, and then Rafiki kind of fell for it now, and now the gem's coming back. But stopped in their tracks on the start of Reply Totem, but nonetheless, Elektros looking just a little bit shaky here.
And Livy knows he's behind, so instead of picking up those drop gems, he's going to try and go after Maori, but it's tough to catch the Crow, who has a super for survival if needed. And off we go. 10 gems is all you need. We've hit the threshold and countdown has begun. Team Elektros here, pretty limited number of options. Maru stands in Rafiki's way, and with Angel Boy, will shut down the Kaze.
This is much more confidence here from Reply Totem. Maru going to have the hypercharge now and cycle it for good measure, just to dampen the spirits, because they do need to get something to say for that previous set. It was a very convincing game. It's a great draft, and I feel like Elektros may have just been dampened.
This map is getting split up into 1v1s at the moment, individual lane matchups, right? Seems like while the Kaze vs Oli is a bit of a wash and the Lumi can keep the Sandy at bay, your eyes are on Mari as someone who probably with confidence can come forward and actually pressure Livy in a 1 versus 1.
Freeze early there for Diego Gamer, keeping Angel Boy back. Those sandstorms can really make a difference on a map like this. And if that comes out, there's nowhere for Elektros to go but back. As Livy, low HP, he's got to consider wisely how long he spends within this mid. He's got 4 gems, now choosing to retreat. Rafiki just needs to pop off early on this left-hand side to alleviate this situation.
He's really the centerpiece here. If this Kaze can't go ham on Reply Totem, Elektros don't really have a good game plan. Once again, falling to Maru. Good pick off on Angel Boy. Now Diego can actually zone Mario away from the gems, but Maru's a problem. As Livy, has to jump away, but wisely doesn't use the super, so he can get back to fighting and collecting gems quicker.
Good for Rafiki, and he's earned his hypercharge now. Maori has no jump, and that is a dangerous prospect. He's carrying those 3 gems that would bring Elektros to 9. Rafiki goes in, does not come out, and Mario has now got the hypercharge, and this could be a real difference-making moment. He could have gone then, chose to hold off for Rafiki to come back in. I guess that wasn't the time to use it. He's using the hypnosis now. Rafiki still comes out on top though.
That control still good for Elektros here. Tough for Diego. They're going to get jumped up, and Maori's still having a 1-for-1. That's massive. As Livy though may have gone a little bit too far forward, but is able to hyper Mario away. Won't have the damage to take down the Oli here, and so that gem will still spawn on the Reply Totem side of the map. Maru low, Rafiki's there, but does get stunned up, still able to pick him off. Grim and Frostbitten is in play, and Diego Gamer doesn't care about the sands. Team Elektros finally reach critical mass and start the countdown.
As Livy has the escape maneuvering. Now can Maori force it out early? Rafiki comes in for a wondrous amount of support. Hypercharge from Maori will connect just a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Livy is going to be safe and sound in the skies, bringing home a game in gem grab for Team Elektros.
And you can see just how much depends on Rafiki being able to do his job. Kapi instantly in his ear, trying to make sure they refine the approach with the Kaze on this map, because if Rafiki is hypnotized, he cannot win the 1v1 against Maru, but has the damage output. If it's a gadgetless engagement, if he's in that geisha form, I've got to give credit to Diego Gamer for his patient zoning of Angel Boy here on the right side. He is not letting the Sandy get into the game.
Angel Boy looked a little bit flustered, and he's a scary guy, but they've got to remain composed on the side of Reply Totem. This is a must-win set, in my opinion. Being 2 sets down could be brutal. Maori's got 2 gems, and most importantly, the support of Maru now being able to push slightly further forward. Angel Boy on the right still hasn't been able to really bring much of a sandstorm from this.
And Diego's gained ground. Now we can actually start to pressure Maori's position instead of just keeping Angel Boy quiet. This is very good for Elektros. Look at how they slowly starting to choke the life out of Reply Totem and scale this map control up. Rafiki knew he was going to get stunned there, I think, and still with the hypercharge stats, he's able to win the fight out. Diego going to be stunned up as well as Livy gets involved with some damage though. Rafiki goes deep, and that's perfect. Maori, the gem carrier, is eliminated, and as Livy has the gadgets to get on out back to safety with 9 gems.
But look how much there is to do for Reply Totem here. All 9 gems are with his Livy. He's got a hypercharge too, but he needs the space to push forwards. Rafiki is going to go down here. That's quite crucial. Reply Totem buying their time. Connection there from Diego Gamer. Angel Boy falls.
Yeah, he's been getting clobbered by Diego Gamer over the course of this game, and here's Livy going in. Maori's going to be cleaned up. Fits with the Brawl Star, forces the jump away from Maori. As Livy hoping for one last gem. It spawns on his side of the map, so away he walks, and Totem absolutely need to cancel out this countdown. But Diego comes in there with a hypercharge super now. Maori needs to go forward with his own, but he's brought down. Team Elektros, you better believe they've done it once again. As Livy, safe as a house in the back of the map, and that's yet another step for the NA squad.
A solid showing for Team Elektros so far. But as they say themselves, the job is not yet done. Even if they get a golden ticket, it won't be done as far as they're concerned. Only by lifting the trophy will that be the case. But this is historic. We are one step away from potentially seeing one of the biggest underdog stories of the entire history of Brawl Esports.
And honestly, we're going to see something potentially for the first time. Diego Gamer is poised to be the only player in Brawl Stars history to qualify for Worlds twice in the same year on 2 different squads. Ridiculous story that would be, and finally, it'd be nice to see him get what he deserves. But 2 sets is not 3. Like you mentioned, the job is far from done, but right here, this was squeaky clean work. And it all starts from the Lumi having such a lopsided, favorable matchup into the Sandy on the right of the map.
And just very good drafting. You know, it really has been from Team Elektros, allowing Rafiki to continuously have those aggressive brawlers. As Livy's always been the rock, even willing to give up that Lumi, which I know he's so good with, just to stay in control of the outcome. And again, reserves, celebrations. They've got still one more set to claim for Reply Totem. They've got to regroup. Regroup big time. They've done so well to get to this point in time. They've swept their way through this competition, but they are in danger of about to be being swept themselves.
And honestly, it was just a straight out play from Team Elektros. The comp was reasonable from Totem. Right, had a lot of elements to it that were very powerful in their own right. Crow was a very reasonable mid pick. Ollie obviously highly prioritized for a good reason. Rafiki is called upon to be just a loose cannon in that game on the Kaze. Just try and run down the Ollie as high health pool as he is, and then put pressure on Maori. The side lanes were everything there for Team Elektros. A really elegant draft, navigated beautifully in-game. So Bell's Rock is our 3rd set. It's going to be knockout. And I would say the game type that depends most on that overarching macro strategy. The draft is going to be so telling here. And you better hope if you're an EMEA fan that Reply Totem and Drage have something up their sleeve.
It's all about staying on your feet, staying in control, and having that insurance policy for that final stage, the gas closing in. That's why brawlers like RT are just really so influential here. I think for Reply Totem, they want to break this map. I'm seeing their top pick is a Brock in scrim, so that's going to be a ban from Team Elektros. They really want to have some flexibility here. It's not there. But then there are bigger brawlers to have to worry about. Brawlers like Kit, like Jaeyoung, Gray, the other side of bans.
You play Tick here?
It's a possibility, but it's so vulnerable. You know, you don't want to be left at the end, later stages in a 1 versus 3. They're going to go for it inside of Team Elektros. It's a daring thing.
And I think if you're Elektros, you might try and, you might have tried to secure the Gene were it not banned away. They'd like to play the thrower. I think Jaeyoung is like an outside option for them. Thinking about Gus maybe. Gray not available, always pretty crucial for some of those moments. And what about you want to have good lanes. Obviously Bell's Rock is arranged in sort of 3 lanes, and you could sort of break that. You could break the map up a little bit more. You mentioned the Brock being really important. Just being able to collapse onto one of the side lanes here. Angelo, of course, a decent pick. With Master Fletcher, you can break through these walls, you can penetrate them, or you can be able to jump away. And here's that Brock, you called it. The most picked brawler for Reply Totem on this particular map. With Ollie banned out by them, they aim to find another option with maybe some more durability. What about Bonnie here? Give you something for the late round.
Bonnie's a solid choice. I mean, that's a great counter into Tick as well, so they don't want to really have that on the side of Reply Totem, but they've got the Angelo now anyway, so, I mean, Elektros have combined Tick and Sprout. I mean, it's one of those maps where Sprout is very viable, but they haven't got the third and final pick here. I think they would have liked to have had it. I think they'll probably stick with just the one thrower for now. Gonna go with the Bell, which I think has a real place here in Knockout. And I think they'll just kind of keep that long-ranged affair, keep that supportive role coming through, maybe bring in something aggressive now, like a Buster or a tanky affair that Rafiki can go to town with, because these aren't his brawlers.
Is there room for like a reverse polarity gadget take here for the Bell? Bouncing it off those walls in these lanes. Okay, here's the Gust that was sort of touched on earlier. So you've got pretty decent range for Team Elektros and nice durability. Obviously that Tick hypercharge is pretty big. This is a risky pick, but one I'm glad to see. You've got a very, very sharpshooter-intensive comp. We were talking with Soda about this earlier on, right? Elektros may be wishing they had thought about the Sprout. Being able to shut off one of those lanes is going to be important, but Reply Totem now have the tools between the Piper and the Brock to crack this map open, remove these walls, set the stage where their longer range can really shine.
I love it. It's so old school. The sharpshooter method that we've been missing so dearly is a gift. And what is this third and maybe even final set if Team Elektros can stand their ground? Already Angel Boy, who's a very accomplished Piper, pushes that right-hand side. Does tank a lot of those tick mines though. But it's the early midfield grounding there for Reply Totem as they start to break open the map.
No, it is hard to play Tick against this kind of map. My goodness, it is cracked open as Livy has to walk a tightrope, understanding the maximum ranges of each of these sharpshooter brawlers in turn is something it takes some time to develop an intuition for. Maori here, clearing the grass. They are losing cover by the second. Team Elektros, it is reverse polarity. Angel Boy even taking it. Oh, it goes so low, and that's going to allow Elektros to move into the map here, Ark.
Last hurrah for us, Livy, pushing forwards. But that was brutal. Angel Boy's falls so far back.
Maori
has to join his team now. The gas pushing
Maori
forwards at critical moments in time, and there's the takedown there as well. It's leaving Maori all alone. First round goes the way of Team Elektros.
Okay, that is brilliant. Elektros played themselves out of that corner so beautifully, and it starts with that reverse polarity gadget used by the Bell, getting a hit on Maru, taking him low.
Maori now has got a rocket rain. Most of the map is open. Great homemade recipe there from Angel Boy. Does connect with Livy, who's earned himself a hypercharge. Another connection from Maori, but no takedown yet for Reply Totem.
This is one of his Livy's sort of pocket picks as well, by the way. On Triad, he was brought in to play a lot of that thrower stuff as like a fourth player, and really made impact. And you need to have such a good understanding of how to play into these sharpshooters because they will try and counter you. A lot of coverage here on those mines. Angel Boy just being mildly tickled by them for now. Maori's incendiary fields make it hard for Rafiki, but he has a shield gear, so he steps ahead of them on occasion to try and land these shots, but you've got to respect the Piper damage. Here comes Maori, hypercharge rocket rain. Rafiki's got to use super there, and there's just nothing to be said by Elektros. Eventually, Reply Totem execute what their comp is supposed to do.
Much better, and a map that caters towards the comp of Reply Totem. No time for error. They are behind big time. They need a game. They need a set here. And this is a great comp to do it with. It doesn't cater towards Rafiki's playstyle realistically here. They can't make those aggressive dives here. It's all the long-ranged game. Let's see how this one fares so far. Reply Totem playing it pretty slow and steady. They need to get some utility. These rocket rains from Maori are so crucial.
Maori takes a hit, it's got to be a last hurrah. Oh, that was scary. Master Fletcher from Maru almost takes the Tick out of the game, but a mild miscalculation leaves as Livy free to fight another day.
Very close. What a gadget there from Maru. The hypercharge from Diego can really make a difference here on the right player marked up towards the end. It's going to be very tough. Angel Boy knows that. He's coming to him specifically. Hypercharge just for speed. Lost her off Miss Livy. Oh, he'll trickle down for the poison of Maru. Fantastic synergy from Reply Totem. A mark onto Angel Boy. It's not over yet, but now it quite well be.
The
this
comp
game
gap.
drawn into 1 versus 3 goes the way of Reply Totem.
Much better look and a great draft here for Reply Totem. It is a comp gap for them. Once they open up the map, they are inherently favored basically in every single lane. And although Elektros were able to exploit some gadget usage and honestly some fantastic intuition in that first round, very hard to do that more than once in a row.
Maori immediately wasting no time on that left-hand side wall. Angel Boy, don't outstay, you're welcome there. Has to evade these pick mines as Livy now. Oh, what a double! That's massive for Reply Totem. What a quick start, and no time to gain even any utility for Team Elektros. They're going to be starting the next round with effectively nothing.
Yeah, whereas Reply Totem have supers for days. Maru hoping to charge his one, not that it's necessary in terms of kill potential, but great for that sustain. Diego, okay, given as good as he gets here. All right, Maru. Exits the round with just enough health to stay alive. The Reply Totem are poised here to snap this set up pretty quickly.
So much better for Reply Totem. They need some confidence. A huge tap from Angel Boy there onto Diego. And immediately, there's nowhere to go for Elektros but back. As Livy's taking a lot of shots again. Another panic last hurrah. Much needed. And a miss. Reverse polarity. Angel Boy dodges it.
Here's the head first. Maru clears it. Rafiki eventually falls. And so is Livy. Would hope to take a bit of space to make use of these indestructible boxes, but needs to respect that Master Fletcher gadget. And Mari knows they're in a very good position. It's all over but the crying here, folks. Diego Gamer picked up, and that is that. Reply Totem get themselves on the board in decisive fashion.
There's no time like the present for a comeback. No more sweeps today. And for now, I've got my wish.
What was your wish?
No more sweeps?
Yeah. You don't wish that Reply Totem get the golden ticket? Is that on that list too?
I wanted them to be the one to sweep, as it would have made a real storyline. As that can't be the case anymore. Fifth and final sets, back to two.
Yeah, exactly.
Back
if it's not a sweep, it's got to be a game 5.
Day 2, baby.
No other way about it. That's it. I want double match point stuff here. But looking back over the course of this game, we've got to be pretty blunt, I think, about the way that the draft went. 3 sharpshooters, almost all of them who outrange even the Bell. Very, very tough here for Elektros to find an edge. They need to do damage to the enemy sharpshooters to force them out of the map so they can, start to gain that map control and turn that into advantages. And that happened. They did. Diego gave a sick gadget use to knock Maru. I think it was low or Mari, but it's not repeatable. It's not a strategy you can really pull off more than once. We're talking about Totem here. They just don't make that same mistake so easily. Very solid, very decisive, reminding us of exactly why they're so feared, so respected. And of course, a team that made it all the way to the semifinals last year, with, of course, the exception of Angel Boy, with that devastating 3-2 defeat in LCQ as part of STMN EU. He wants his crack at World Finals yet again.
Could also mention, the way that Maru and Maori were able to qualify for the World Finals last year at LCQ. Knocking out Tribe Gaming in the process, as Livy was a key component in what was almost a reverse sweep in that match. He was absolutely pivotal. I remember distinctly on that Mandy just absolutely popping off, doing everything he could to keep his team alive. And that is the man that has not changed in that regard. He is still going to do everything in his power and fight until his very last breath to continue his dream of his 2025 prospect.
Open Business is going to be our next map in this set. See a hot zone map that's seen quite a few iterations in terms of meta brawlers to bring in here. All the usual suspects, especially now with the Draco banned away from Elektros. It's a very heads-up look, and Elektros also have opted to take this Hank out of rotation. A double Draco ban, though, means that a lot of those really powerful, often banned brawlers have the chance to slip through. But we start with our original question, as always, on this map. What about the Ollie? We're going to snap that up early. We're going to wait to take it. It is left in the second rotation.
Can you afford to wait? That's the question for us. Team Elektros seem to think they can. It's their top pick in scrims, however. But that might have been mainly for Draco, but both sides were already caught onto that. That is the #1 pick in scrims across all the teams in LCQ. I feel like now brawlers like Hank are a potential, Elektros ban in that regard, but I mean, Meg's a bit of an oddball one for Reply Totem. They sometimes like to bring that one in with the Crow.
So the question is, whose hypercharge are you hoping to abuse? Because Ruffs and Draco is the go-to combo on this map, where Draco has a hypercharge super, which obviously increases his cone of fire and damage drastically, and then he uses it again straight away with that with the help of the rush. So, you know, you are still looking at another brawler with a really powerful hypercharge. Meg is pretty decent, right? That super swing, hypercharge super swing, penetrates through walls and is very, very long range. A very straightforward pick of the J on here to start things off for Reply Totem. Really solid. Can damage through barriers with that Weekend Warrior. Hits harder than you often expect him to. We saw him 1v1ing Maxes on the bouncy map earlier on. It is Meg. So we are looking at a Meg pickup for Reply Totem instead. Someone who, a team rather, who's made pretty extensive use of the Meg, and she's honestly not got the greatest win rate on this map in scrims. I think it's like sub 40.
Now I'm so worried because this Ruffs could be combined with a loop and into a Meg. You're going to be able to gain so much mid-control. I mean, she's going to be feeding. She's a big brute in that mech.
That is so heads up. Also, Lou still has a very good win rate on open business. Almost like 2 in 3 games are won if you pick Lou. Parsley, they're going to be the option here. Maybe saving that Lou as late as possible. Have to really have a good answer to it though. You need someone who can sort of outrange the Lou or put close range pressure on him. Reply Totem have more of a mid-range comp right now. They don't have anything that really gets in your face. Sort of leave that until later. Frank, obviously, can open up the map really. It is the Lou. Great call, Ark. I mean, we've seen it less often here at the LCQ, but it is pretty dynamic with that Ruffs. Guaranteeing instant freeze with that hypercharged super. And being able to do it back-to-back might be just what Elektros need.
Kind of need a Lumi in this regard on your side. It's not really a totem pick. They've got a real problem. Cordelius is what they're going to use.
Is that good enough?
It will have to be. I think it's not a bad one in all respects. I think that as long as they focus their time on the Lou, keep him out of the conversation, keep him away from being able to earn those icicles onto that middle of the map. I mean, it's going to be a tough ask for Reply Totem here. I don't think they've got the drop that they were hoping for. And honestly, this could spiral out of control. The Ruffs and Lou combo is fit.
Well, again, Rafiki's going to be called upon to be that absolute uncaged animal on this Kaze. Considering that, you know, Lou doesn't do a ton of damage. Really more about utility than anything else, that brawler. And Maori is happy to try and poke his living down at late. No one really stepping onto the point for any extended period of time. Rafiki able to use the terrain here to dodge a lot of Maru's damage, but eventually has to commit and goes down to the super swing. Does leave Maru de-mech'd here, but that's fine for Totem.
Yeah, Angel Boy using that Jae-Young to close the gap. He's going to have to. Fortunately for him, Ruffs is not running the sandbags, so that's a bit of a saving grace. But as those supply drops comes in, his job gets tougher. As Livy beefed up now with the supply drops. Reply Totem losing control here as well. It's down to Angel Boy just to keep this pressure on. He's in a good spot. Maybe it's come out the realm with his Livy here. Going to come back. For now, Totem in the lead.
Ruffs in the Shadow Realm moons, can't really build super, so can't work towards it hyper super either. Maru here getting aggressive. Diego Gamer going to be kept under the thumb and taken down by that last salvo with shots. As Maru stays in mech, which is a big deal. As Livy on his own does pretty pitiful amounts of damage, Rafiki's trying to wrap around. Maybe look at Maru's direction, but he's found himself again caught out by Angel Boy, who simply throws a super down on the Lou, takes him out of the game, and Angel Boy completes the elimination.
It's perfect. You've got to keep that up though. Again, it's not a free game by a long shot. This Cordelius is working for now. That can change. Angel Boy's doing a great job of just keeping him off and out of this objective. He's a real problem in that spawn. 76%, now 80 for Reply Totem, and this is looking convincing.
Oh man, this is sick. Elektros can't even stand on the point. Rafiki just gets vaporized as soon as he tries to get any capture progress whatsoever. There is zero staying power for Team Elektros, a fact exacerbated by Cordelius' presence constantly dragging their role players to the Shadow Realm. Bruh. That is a certified bruh moment.
Yeah, I mean, Angel Boy knows his job. And at the beginning, Elektros did show great awareness to the fact that he's trying to obtain that, distraction. And they're breaking them up with the Ruffs, but now things could absolutely change. Diego Gamer had a very strong start, but will Team Elektros learn from this mistake? They've got to adapt.
Can Rafiki even beat the mech? It seems like Maru just gets knocked out of mech and he's still a factor. And takes down the Kaze. Maru says, oh, well, I'll just, rotate onto the point a little bit here with Maori. They are very low in fairness, but Angel Boy comes back naturally at full health, and Rafiki's just trying to play that same gameplay loop. Maru gets back in mech now, so Rafiki's got to deal with that health pool, as well as the mini-mech.
Now a lead forming here for Team Elektros. Angel Boy is going to get Diego Gamer here in a good spot for 45 HP coming out, and he actually will fall to the freeze. It's Livy, his right-hand side, doing his best to juggle his time.
Damage, man.
He's got to force his way down. He has got super though. He might choose to lead that before surely going down here, but he's still alive.
Hey, Maru's down. Diego Gamer now to take up position. Dalu is out of the game, but it's done its job and has denied the point away from Reply Totem when they had a power play. Diego Gamer's low. Respecting the Meg, no doubt. Mari not really given the opportunity to heal up and has to switch over to that aspect with the super. Here's an instant freeze on Maru. Rafiki finally can win that matchup with a little bit of extra help. And Angel Boy tries to challenge. Elektros have a slim lead here with 3 brawlers up, and Mari has to bide his time here.
And this is where things can escalate. If Team Elektros stay in this mid, if Diego Gamer can bring in a hypercharged supply drop and keep everyone buffed, this could be very bad for Reply Totem, who are trying their best in what is an open map. As Livy just evades that shot, low HP, but they find Diego Gamer. Now as Livy falls, and it's the 3 versus 1, but Rafiki has got the Brawl Star and a hypercharge. Finds 1, finds 2, stays on the zone.
The audacity from Reply Totem, thinking they could stand on the point and get some free percentage while that hypercharged Kaze was looming. Punished through it now, egg on the face of the MEA squad, and a healthy lead now for Elektros. Angel Boy comes forward, jumps, and is taken down by Diego Gamer in his own domain expansion. But as Livy's forced back, still a lead for Elektros. Rafiki looking healthy now, eyeing off Maru, but has to respect that swing as Livy simply ceases to exist. Another swing drops Rafiki low, and now that gap is closing.
A massive battering from Maru, and he's not done yet. Rafiki falls. This is a massive moment for Reply Totem. If they can turn this around, Maru can't get on the zone, and this is a great opportunity for Elektros to steal it.
It's now or never. Rafiki into Maru. Good damage done, but mech still maintained. Still on the point of Elektros, 96% accounting, and they've done enough here. Unreal! Elektros! What have we done with this series here and now? What a nail biter! Winning by a pretty slim margin and finally able to cycle some of those loose supers onto the point. That zone control gives them the breathing room even when they lose in the straight up fights.
It's a very balanced draft. It's all about positioning. If Angel Boy can pop off once more, this goes the distance. But Elektros made fantastic adaptations. It was still incredibly close regardless. Now, Maori and Maru have locked down this right. Angel Boy on the left-hand side using this wall to his advantage now as well. And that's already a healthy start and some good capture points on the zone.
Levy almost survives there. Whoa, Maru with the double tap down. These Rafikis here with not much to do. Trying to cut through Maru. Their Fist of the Brawl Star leaves a mark, but it detonates, leaving Maru well and truly still in mech. Here's the first from Ed's Livy, but it doesn't really zone all that much. They'll be able to move on to the points here, but they're low. They're getting peppered down.
Angel Boy missed super, and that cannot happen again. It's got to be able to keep cycling, keep being a distraction. 65% now on the zone. Elektros are fumbling slightly here. Rafiki still in that backside spawn. Invincible Maori finds him regardless. Massive pickup, and now Reply Totem are creeping towards 85% to just 11.
As Livy here, out of the game right now, stuck in the Shadow Realm, and Mari stands his ground on the point. Maru right there alongside of Reply Totem, just too strong. Indomitable here on Hot Zone. A powerful draft that gets the result they were looking for. And they run it right back on Elektros. We're headed to a decider set.
You know what that means, folks. We got another 2-3 scoreline, whichever way you look at it, coming up. Day 2 vibes, baby. I love it. But for Team Elektros, they've already had 2 of them along their journey. Is it too much to think that, is it too much to ask for that we can get one more?
I don't know if Carpi really expected to find himself in this position a couple months ago.
Bro's going through it.
He now has to craft a draft in a decider map against a very accomplished Reply Totem to send this ragtag bunch of offcuts from NA into the World Finals. Talk about pressure.
See there the strength of Angel Boy's handshake. The Straight knows only too well. Can you imagine what we'll see from him if they are to win a golden ticket to the World Finals? Whatever way you look at this, it's going to be a monumental story. And that is what Brawl Esports is all about. We live for the stories.
And this matchup is rich with them. Both Angel Boy and his Livy with heartbreak results last year. Angel Boy obviously falling in that LCQ. As Livy not able to go the distance either. Questions about whether he would return, and he does. But honestly, every word out of his mouth has been about his teammates, about lifting them up, about giving Rafiki and Diego a chance to stand on the biggest stage in Brawl Stars. This one is big, and this match is the most important of their careers, but on the other side, over the horizon, lies an even bigger trophy, an even bigger stage. Reply Totem have been there before. They also know how to get there. They did it last year and made it all the way into the top 4. A lot of support for Reply Totem out there in the crowd. When you get in the game, you shut all that out and you focus up.
Heist as a 5th set yet again. It's so brutal, man. It really is. I love it.
It's delicious, Ark.
It is. I'm glad I'm on the casting desk. Let's put it that way.
I demand cheese. Cheese like those 8 thick pieces of cheese stacked on Angel Boy's plate at breakfast the other day.
That was a monstrous breakfast.
Bro, I mean, bro was bulking up. I mean, there's calorie burn out there. This guy is not messing about. You see those high fives, bro. I'll be like bracing my hand with my other arm to make sure I don't get blown away.
He said when he met me in Brazil was, "Hey man, are you good at arm wrestles? Want to arm wrestle?" I was like, I'm probably gonna. I don't have to love the event.
Yeah, my health insurance doesn't extend to Brazil, so I'm gonna give that one a big miss, big son. Straight away, the Cordelius is picked off. I replied to him basically say, hey, on offense, this works really well, but we now have an answer for anything you might throw. Because Chuck was open, Reply to him are not going to take the risk, and they don't want to play the Chuck themselves. Now, you can play into the Cordelius, you can take the Chuck. Wow. It feels like a big risk. Here's the berry. Okay.
That was what I was afraid of. It's just one of those brawlers that escapes the bans, but can get so much value, applies so much pressure. It's almost like the new age Chuck, in my opinion. It's really quite a scary prospect. Now, there is a kit open here. It's Reply to pick, banned out by Team Elektros. Probably looking then for something along the lines of maybe even a Lumi to be able to push their way forwards with that freeze.
Lumi, Shade, Shade banned out as well. Okay, Hank open. We start to get thin on some of our options. BB's there. And Lumi's going to be the take for Team Elektros. Controlled these chokes. Pit-stop has a lot of these narrow funnels. And we know Berry is a real pain. Having extra duration on those ice cream fields when you're pressuring a safe down. Sometimes teams don't respect an enemy Berry that's threatening their safe, but over time that damage really adds up. The Reply Totem are going to have to be vigilant, and they're going to have to spend resources on getting the Berry out of their territory if he encroaches.
Picks and thinning. It might be Buzz. It's one that Reply Totem play quite a lot. Oh yeah.
I was
gonna say it. They've got a surge potentially as well on their list to.
Bro, we're running it down.
They are really, really looking for anything now. These bans are so good on both sides. They've read each other like a book here. Bonnie is an option. It's not my favorite brawler whatsoever, but I mean, it's really looking quite shy.
In scrims, Reply Totem played Edgar 3 times and only won once. So do Team Elektros have the answer to this? Now, was it Zeta Division that won a world championship with this pick? Here comes the Buzz to follow it up. So Reply Totem rounded their composition pretty nicely. They played a bunch of Buzz. You've got the ability to cross the map. You've got stopping power with that hard crowd control. And you've got a heck of a lot of damage on the safe. Now whenever Elektros, what is the answer going to be? Do you risk something like a Hank? I wouldn't. Getting stunned up as the bubble charges by a Buzz seems like a pretty raw deal to take. Is it BB?
I think it might be Lou, honestly. I mean, the Buzz needs to be stunned out.
Hank it is.
It's so dangerous, man. I mean, certainly can shut down the Buzz at close range, but I mean, you've got to earn that, and are you going to be staying on defense?
I like Reply Totem's draft a lot, and I'm saying that it features an Edgar. A part of myself feels like I need a cold shower after this, but we know that Reply Totem have extremely high all-in potential. If Elektros do not fight them at mid-range, do not find ways to neutralize this Edgar, he is going to fight damage onto the safe.
Both teams in this draft gave it their all. Looking through the data, there was so little option. They had to really scrape it through. Maru, his right-hand side, with little space to maneuver against this ice cream, but it's Maori on the left. He's already got the Let's Fly, and he'd be looking to get that safe down as quickly as possible. Goes straight for the Lumi. Do Gamer suffers and he chooses to come back. Rafiki is just there, and he is a rock.
It's a horrible matchup for the Lumi. As Livy falls there to Angel Boy, looked like he wanted to try and pressure the safe down, and those ice cream fields are going to work, but now Maru has a date with the safe. As Livy with a gadget knockback pushes Maru away. It's a slim lead here for Reply Totem, but as Livy was able to slip the net and put some damage down, Diego cannot fight Maori. It is an awful matchup for the Lumi, but this time Maori gets popped, going a little too aggressive, but as Livy is caught out, Amaru's trying to chain those supers together.
Angel Boy couldn't quite find Rafiki there, has to juke his way forward, get some value, push him into the realm, allow Maori then to take care of business on the left. He gets one straight onto the safe now as well. That's good damage, fantastic for Reply Totem.
As Livy so heads up, he's trading this damage. He knows he's got to do something here. He can't just stand around. But Electro safe gets hammered. Diego needs to avoid as much as he can that Edgar. Maru with a hypercharge, he's going to go for the safe one way or another, and Electros are getting ready for it. The damage though is pretty severe. Knocked down to 53 as Diego once again runs into the wrong opponent. Murray makes mincemeat of him.
So close. 68% left on the Reply Totem safe. And a hypercharge with Diego will find the stun to Maori. And now, what do Maru and Angel Boy do? Do they come back? Do they go forwards? They've got to make a choice. And as Livy will now litter that safe with more ice cream. And surely a stage that safe about to go down.
Not bad, as Livy can stay and damage this safe away, but Maru's done just the same. It is very close. Electro's shield popped first though, which means the damage can come in from Maru. He's down though. Eventually as Livy's cleared away from a Reply Totem safe, a slim lead with a tick damage, 1% in the game right now.
It's absolutely neck and neck, but another great stun from Diego Gamer on that right-hand side. Maru is being scrutinized. He's got his own now. He comes in. Oh, what a super from us, Livy! Unreal! The timer is ticking. Maru is safe with hypercharge. There's a safe stage. That is massive. And Reply Totem have got it down to 14%. And meanwhile, their safe stays at 24. It's Reply Totem on match point.
Try as he might, as Livy could not quite do enough. The only player realistically able to get onto the safe. He did good damage, but Electros were behind by one entire shield stage. Too much pressure from Reply Totem. The Edgar pick too clutch against the Lumi. Electros here now, it's do or die, but they are unfavored in terms of comp.
Maru wasting no time at all on this right-hand side. Gets the stun already, not going to be using it just yet, just getting that first stage down. It's massive already. Reply Totem are using this momentum to continue this assault. Amazing.
Now this is looking like a complete shutout so far. Angel Boy on defense. Impossible for his Livy to get any purchase on that safe, and now Maru's going to step in, favored against both of those brawlers. If he can stun them up, that's one down, but nice little super there from his Livy. Now he and Diego can start to go aggressive, but elsewhere Rafiki trying to defend the safe has been brought down. It's 2v1 in terms of the safe race, but his Livy has lost his teammate. Diego's been picked off, and Maru is still threatening safe damage. It's as tough for Electros. They're in deep trouble, Ark.
Yeah, this safe is absolutely getting shredded. Team Electros decided to go on the offensive, whereas Team Reply Totem just went for the dive. Angel Boy forces Livy straight into the realm, but he's not finished him off just yet. Now he goes down, and now Maori from the right, he can get on the safe.
This might be over. Maori's able to step up here with a super to work with. That safe gets chunked down to its last stage of defense. Here comes Maru straight on in. Team Electros absolutely flattened in their own houses. They're able to defend, but it costs a hypercharge super from his Livy. Here they come up the field, but they are so far behind, Ark.
The hypercharge of Maru misses. That's actually quite brutal. He needs to get forwards. There is a chance. There is time for Electros to bring this back. Angel Boy, he's running through it. The ice cream running for the safe. He should be able to get it. And that is it! Reply Totem! The boys in green can now proceed to the World Finals to line their pockets with gold!
And although we wondered why they were even here, why they had to fight the LCQ to make it to Worlds, Reply Totem again deliver on the promise. We will stand amongst the best in Brawl. We will put our name up in lights. We will keep EMEA on the world stage in numbers. Angel Boy this time gets to return to the world stage, shepherding, guiding Maru and Mari back to glory once more. Elektros. It's heartbreaking. So many issues to navigate this year. A shuffle of teams. Last minute, Diego Gemma being brought in is not enough. But there has to be a victor and a vanquished. Reply Totem might be green, but that ticket's solid gold, baby.
Brawl Stars fans, we just watched unforgettable matches right here. This is the last chance qualifier, and I'm right now with Angel Boy. Oh my gosh, I love your personality. I love how much you love to play this. Congratulations. And right now you have secured your spot to the World Finals. And I would like to know your main feeling right now, because I'm pretty much sure you have so much to share with us.
Oh, I'm so happy. I cannot even describe how happy I am. It's been a very tough year for us all, and now that we were 0-2 up, we never stopped believing like we did the entire year. We always went through, and we never doubted ourselves. While I'm here, I also want to say thank you, crowd. Thank you. Even if you weren't supporting us, it was so admirable for you to support like this. This is the best crowd I've ever seen. Thank you, everyone.
Seguinte, eu perguntei pra ele nesse momento como é que ele se sentia, qual que é o sentimento dele, porque esse cara aqui é absurdo. E ele falou que ele nunca deixou de desistir. Esse é o sonho dele e ele está avançando pra grande final e ele tá muito feliz que tá indo pra Suécia. E agora, eu quero que vocês façam muito barulho pra esse cara aqui, pra esse time aqui, porque ele falou que a nossa torcida é a melhor! Reply Totem, you have made it to the grand finals, to the world finals, and right now you have won your golden ticket!
And as Reply Totem lifts the golden ticket to go to the BSC World Finals 2025. Team Elektros steps off the stage. They were on the cusp of greatness. Another heartbreaking loss at LCQ for Slivy, but a chance for Angel Boy to join the best at World Finals again. And Uber, coming into this, you were talking about, it's always Mauro and Mauri, and then the other guy. You were asking the question, can Angel Boy be the guy for them? Has he been?
Yeah, this team is Angel Boy and friends now. I've decided. Get this guy a t-shirt, Reply Totem. It has to have a stack of cheese on the back with all the Japanese writing. The other guys have theirs, that's fine. Get this guy some branding. What a game. A reverse sweep against Team Elektros. A real upstart roster. It's heartbreak for them, I'm sure, but Reply Totem, you know how I mentioned, you've got to start with that one really crushing defeat before you can have your crack at glory. That might have been Elektros here, but Reply Totem have been there. They've faced those disappointments. Today, they've done enough with the reverse sweep to advance to the World Finals.
You're right, you've got to have one, but as Livy now's had two. It's a 3-2 scoreline. I can't help but feel for the guy. He's done so much this year to get to this point, but there has to be a loser and there must be a winner. Today, Reply Totem excelled.
For the viewers at home, you can't see it, but my two co-casters see how much I was in this game. I was shaking like crazy.
Belief.
Reply Totem goes to Worlds, and this was one of the best Brawl Stars matches I personally have ever seen. Some of the best Brawl Stars, and it's not even over yet. We're going to move on over to Casa Brawl versus Crazy Raccoon. We still have Pepera Supermassive versus Navi. Only 2 more tickets to give away. First up though, we're going to recover from this. We have to loosen up a bit. And we have Try versus Loud. Wait, what's that all about?
Okay.
We're going to find out later.